Hi there, I'm Darren McDermott and you're watching Dukascopy TV. Now I have Rene Philippe with me in the studio from Offshore Premium to look at how to open an offshore bank account. Welcome today.
Hi, how are you today?
I'm great, thank you very much for coming back to the studio. But Rene, what I do want to know is, how could I open a offshore bank account, just say in 48 hours?
You cannot.
Okay.
It's as simple as this.
It's not possible.
It's some things we used to be able to do like 10 years ago, where all what that was needed was a bad fax copy of your passport. But today it's impossible. Why? Simply because all banks have now what we call compliance department. The role of a compliance department is to discourage illegal activities, tax evasion, money laundering, and all those things which are often associated with offshore banking. Now, when you want to open a bank account, you will discuss with a bank account manager. Before, this guy could open your bank account. He had the power to do so. Today, he does not anymore. So your file will have to go through compliance, and it will take between 2 days to 2 weeks. So no one can open an offshore bank account in 24 hours or 48 hours anymore.
And of course, looking at opening an offshore bank account, it must be much more complicated and difficult than just your regular local bank account.
Yes, it has become excessively difficult because of compliance, as I was saying, and because document requirement has become so more complex than before.
And what else is quite important to know when opening an offshore bank account? Now, is it actually true that the US dollar is not the best currency when opening one of these?
Yes, especially if you are a US citizen. But what I'm about to talk about may also concern non-US citizens or residents. The point is, there is not one single US dollar transaction in the world that does not go through the US banking system. Every single bank which is dealing in US dollar needs to have a correspondent bank account with a US bank. It means that every single US dollar transaction will leave a paper trail. On this paper trail will be the information about the bank which is doing the transaction, the person which is sending the money, and the person which is receiving the money. And all those records are kept by correspondent bank in the US. Now, US government federal authorities have the power to access those records. And the IRS last year has made 2 summons, which were what we call John Doe summons, which are summons which are like fishing expedition. And they asked to see all the record of transaction by 2 offshore banks to check whether US citizens were involved in those transactions. And 2 federal courts have accepted those requests. Now, what I'm saying is I don't see why you are, for example, a French citizen, and France has an agreement with the US for criminal assistance. Okay? In France, tax evasion is a criminal offense. So I don't see why a French judge could not try to obtain information about your banking operation through a US court.
And looking at banking secrecy, a very important topic. So where are the best places to open an offshore bank account? And of course, does it actually matter where you are from yourself?
Yes, it completely matters. 2 things matters. What nationality are you, and what is your place of residence? The second thing is you have to consider that bank secrecy, it's not something which is absolute. Okay? Let me give you an example. There is an organization which is called Tax Justice Network. And this organization has done, and is doing actually every year, a ranking of countries by bank secrecy. And basically they are granting Mauritius 80 points out of 100. It means that Mauritius is one of the top destinations in terms of bank secrecy. But it's true, and it's not true as well. Why? Because Mauritius has signed what we call tax information exchange agreement. And if, for example, you are a Norwegian citizen, 1 year ago, Mauritius was one of the best places for you to bank. But in a few months, the tax information exchange agreement between Mauritius and Norwegia will be enforceable. Which means that if you are under investigation in Norwegia, Norwegian authorities will have the power to ask Mauritius authorities your information. So when opening an offshore bank account, we have not only to consider the bank secrecy in the country where we are going, but we have also to check whether this tax paradise does not have tax information exchange agreement with the country where you are a tax resident.
Rene, thank you very much. Pleasure having you in the studio again. Hopefully you'll be back again very soon.
I hope so. It was a pleasure to come.
And thank you for watching Dukascopy TV. Now do check out Rene's other videos and do stay tuned as we have plenty more coming your way. Goodbye for now.